Parallel number 5, majoring on minors, leading to an us versus them mentality. As time went on, Second Adventists became more and more strident and dogmatic in their beliefs. Among Christians, views on Bible prophecy have varied over the centuries. Views vary today among denominations and individuals. This should not cause division, as most Christians realize that this topic is not one of the essentials of the faith, as is, for example, the divinity of Jesus. Prophecy is an area in which we can have freedom to differ and still maintain unity and love. Justin Martyr said in the 2nd century, "I admitted to you formerly that I and many others are of this opinion, and believe that such will take place, as you assuredly are aware. But on the other hand, I signify to you that many who belong to the pure and pious faith and are true Christians think otherwise." Unfortunately, during the period leading up to the Great Disappointment, and even more amazingly after that, many involved in that movement elevated their unique ideas on prophecy to an essential doctrine, just as the Watchtower does to this day. A lovely and kind woman named Grace Goff was abruptly disfellowshipped for not believing that Jesus returned invisibly in 1914. Her full story can be found at her website at www.xjw.weebly.com. Here are some ways the Second Adventists and subsequent groups showed their us versus them mentality. Loaded labels were used to describe those who accepted their views as opposed to those who didn't. Those who followed them were said to see the light and accept the truth. Those that stayed with it, even after the failure of 1843 and 44, were termed faithful class and firm in the faith. Awakened ones and stronger ones were those who could see the signs of the last days. Those who left Adventism and went back to their churches were said to fall away. They proved themselves to be foolish virgins and last-day scoffers that were sitting in the seat of the scornful. Those with other views on prophecy were said to know nothing of history and were easily acted upon by popular men. In other words, gullible and ignorant. Miller himself said that their manner of explaining Scripture is too carnal to satisfy the devoted child of God. Protestants that didn't accept the midnight cry just did not want the Lord to come. They claimed spiritual superiority. Non-Adventist Christians just weren't as spiritual. Adventists claimed their people read the Bible much more. Joining Adventism was equated with becoming a workman in the house of God, implying other Christians were lazy slackers. As time went on, this attitude was taken to a whole new level, implying non-Adventist Christians were not even true believers. The truth on this subject will operate as a test of the faith of all who really belong to Christ. Getting others to join was called bringing them into the faith. If you don't agree to join with them, it means you are not ready to see Jesus and are not in a state of grace. In other words, not even a Christian. Ellen G. White called Miller's prediction a saving message, and Jesus turned his face away from churches that did not accept it. Talk about majoring in minors. Some doctrines have since ancient times been viewed as essential to the Christian faith. These have been expressed since very earliest church history in the Apostles' Creed, which unites all Christians. It is believed by many to be analogous to the Rule of Faith, which was a short summary of basic Christian doctrine learned and confessed at baptism. Here's a neat little diagram from the ESV Study Bible. The caption says, "The ability to rightly discern the difference between core doctrines and legitimately disputable matters will keep the church from either compromising important truth or needlessly dividing over peripheral issues."